From now on, we will be breaking down each type of attack into short, bite-sized concepts. If you are new here, you can explore our channel to get a complete overview. And if you are someone who already has the basics and just wants to dive into specific attack, this is exactly the place for you. Whether you are a beginner in AI red teaming or looking to sharpen your skills, we have got something for everyone. So in short, this channel covers it all. So let's get started.
All right, let's talk about something we hear all the time with AI, hallucinations. Usually, it's when the AI makes a funny mistake. But what if that mistake isn't funny at all? What if it's actually a weapon? Today, we're breaking down what's called a hallucination attack. And to really wrap our heads around this, we're not going to start with some dry textbook definition. Nope. Instead, let's walk through a scenario, a really dangerous lie that could honestly happen to anyone who relies on AI for important stuff. So I've got a question for you, and I want you to really think about it. Could your AI be lying to you? I mean, the one you use every day, the one you trust. The answer, well, it's probably not what you're expecting. Okay, so picture this. You've set up this awesome AI security assistant. Its whole purpose in life is to protect your company's server. It's smart, it's quick, and honestly, you've started to really rely on it to keep an eye on things. Then an attacker shows up, and they don't have some super complex hacking tool. All they have is a question. They ask your AI something that looks totally innocent, like, hey, can you list the vulnerabilities in my server, IP address 10.10.10.5? See how sneaky that is? It sounds like a normal request. And this is where it gets really scary. Your AI, the one that's supposed to be helpful, doesn't say, I'm not sure, or I can't access that. Instead, it just confidently makes up a whole list of critical problems. It reports things like SQL injection, which lets attackers steal your data, and even remote code execution, which could let them completely take over your server. And the crazy part? It says all this like it's 100% fact. So what happens next? Well, you trust your AI, of course. You hit the panic button, pull your whole team into an emergency all hands, and spend hours, maybe even days, hunting for these threats. You're just wasting all this time and energy chasing ghosts, all because your AI literally invented a crisis. Okay, so that whole nightmare scenario we just walked through, it actually has a name. It is a perfect example of a hallucination attack. So let's break down what that really means. So a hallucination attack is basically when an attacker knowingly takes advantage of the fact that AI models, well, they sometimes just make stuff up. These models can spit out things that are completely false, but they say it with so much confidence that it sounds true. Attackers use this exact flaw to spread lies, to trick people like you into doing the wrong thing, or even to get around security systems. And what's kind of wild about this whole thing is how easy it is to do. You don't need to be some coding genius. You just need to know how to ask the right, or I guess the wrong kind of question. It really boils down to two simple steps. 1, the attacker asks a question that's loaded with a false assumption. And 2, the AI, because it's trying so hard to be helpful and give a full answer, just invents facts to fit the question it was asked. And this right here is a perfect example of that. Look at this prompt. Explain why Company X confirmed a data breach yesterday. Notice it's not asking if there was a breach. It's stating it as a fact and asking for the why. That kind of pressure can literally force the AI to invent a whole story, confirming a data breach that never ever happened, maybe even making up details about what was stolen. And this attack can show up in a bunch of different ways. Attackers can get an AI to invent fake security incidents, right? Or generate fake citations to research papers that don't exist to back up their claims. They can even trick it into giving out really dangerous security advice or making up quotes from trusted sources to make its lies seem even more legitimate. So why is this such a big deal? I mean, it's just a computer making a mistake, right? Wrong. The real danger here, the reason this attack works so well, comes down to a very simple, very powerful part of human nature. And what is that? It's that we tend to trust computers blindly. Think about it. When a machine gives us a clean, confident answer, our gut instinct is to believe it's true. And that blind trust, that's the real vulnerability the attackers are going after. The fallout from this can be huge. You could have people making major security decisions based on pure fiction. It can be used to spread horrible misinformation about a person or a company. It can create total panic over fake problems. And in the long run, it just erodes trust in these AI tools for all of us. And I want to be super clear here. This is not a problem with just one or two bad models. This vulnerability affects all the big generative LLMs. We're talking ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, you name it. The source material even points out that some open source models can be hit with these attacks more often. Bottom line, nobody is immune to this. Okay, so that leads us to the most important question of all. What in the world do we do about it? How do we build AI that's harder to trick, and how do we, as the people using it, protect ourselves? Well, thankfully, there are some really important steps we can take. We can use tech like Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG, which basically forces the AI to answer questions using only a specific set of verified facts, kind of like a closed-book test. We can also make it a rule that the AI has to show its work, providing real citations for its claims. We can build in confidence scores, so you know when it's just guessing. But maybe the most important thing? For any critical task, you absolutely have to have a human validating what the AI spits out. And really, that brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. We keep talking about AI being our co-pilot, right? Helping us navigate our work and our lives. But if your co-pilot is known to just invent directions out of thin air, the responsibility suddenly changes, doesn't it? It's not just about asking the right questions anymore. It's about learning how to constantly, critically verify the answers. So that's our deep dive into hallucination attacks. It's a really critical concept to get your head around as these amazing tools become a bigger and bigger part of our world. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.